On this episode,
I would rather have no relationship at all than have a relationship that's only occurring because I'm changing something about myself to make it happen, because that's not sustainable.
and now please enjoy part 2 of our conversation with Ben and Terrell. All right, so Terrell had a really good question for Ben. Go ahead. Over the break?
Yeah, so while we were breaking, we were just conversation just kept going.
Yeah.
And Terrell asked me a question, and Matt was like, "Yo, we gotta record this." So Terrell, hit me with the question one more time.
Do you ever like visualize what you're making?
So when I'm working on a video, I can visualize what I want to happen in the video. Like I can be like, I can just see each individual scene, but I can't visualize how it's shot. Like with the camera, I can't visualize the cinematography. So that's why I love working with my friend Rick Latin, because he's really good at like innovating the cinematography. Like he's really good at, so he'll take a really boring looking shot with something interesting happening behind it, but the shot itself is really boring. Like whenever I imagine it, I just have like a still camera shooting something cool that's happening. And he'll take that and be like, yo, what if we like move the camera around or have it go through the people or have it panning or something like that and just make it really interesting. So to answer your question, I can visualize what I want to happen in the video. I'm not good at visualizing how the video actually gets made. I'm working on it, getting better at it, but luckily I have a guy helping me who's pretty good with that.
I can help you with that.
Hey, dude, if you wanted to shoot for us, I mean, I know you normally shoot most of what you shoot on a phone, right? Like on an iPhone or whatever. Yeah, I always shoot with cameras, with DSLRs, with
That's
yeah.
my dream. I want to be able to mess with things like that.
Dude, I mean, I wish if we weren't seniors, I would tell you should take audio video productions, because I mean, I'm in the class this year, and that's how I learned how to use cameras and stuff. That's how I have access to equipment. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you want to learn, I just completely lost my train of thought. It just entirely.
I wanted to
derailed.
take that class pretty badly, but they didn't put me in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And audio video productions too? You just didn't get in?
Yeah, like I signed up for it and they said, nope, it looks like you want to take interior design.
Dude, what? No, bro.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, though, you got to be like aggressive with that, because there are so many counselors. Yo,
I tried, like I tried to work my way in and they said like it's booked.
for real? Wait,
Yeah.
for the first class or the second one?
For the first one.
And the first one was booked?
Yeah,
That's crazy. There's like 4 periods for that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That's wow. That
It-
actually surprised
It
me.
might also have been like I wasn't willing to switch my schedule around. I don't.
Okay, yeah. See, when I was trying to get into audio video productions too, it didn't work at first, and my counselor straight up was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna work. Sorry, there's no way we can make it work." And I was like, "Take me out of whatever you want to take me out of, but put me in that class." Like I really had to like force it. Now my counselor is really, really good. I've missed Dwyer, and she's spectacular. I love her, but I still had to fight for it, and I'm happy I did. But I'm sorry that didn't work out for you though.
Yeah, I mean, I still get the equipment.
No, I mean this is yeah. I hooked up Matt for this episode. I grabbed I don't even know what to call this, an H6 handy recorder.
Thank you to Mr. Falk for letting us borrow
Shout out
the
to Mr. Falk.
shout out.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Shout out to Mr. Falk.
So Matt, you got the rest of those questions ready to go?
Yeah, you want the closing segments or like the?
Oh, just any. If you have any more of the general questions, if not, or even just while you're looking, Terrell, you asked me if I'm able to visualize what I want to make before I make it. Are you able to do that with the stuff you're working on? Now I know that your stuff is it's a lot more different. I know that you just generally, a lot of times you just shoot things that are already happening, and then you edit that into a really cool video with a bunch of your own clips mixed in as well, stuff that you created, which is really cool. But are you able to visualize like how a project is gonna come out? Like, do you have like a song in mind? Are you like, all right, this will be a cool clip? Are you just shooting interesting stuff and then you make something out of it?
All honesty, I feel like I can switch up my content for different things. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I can make really great. I don't even know how I can say it. I can make a product that's really good and like fully scripted with different angles and all that stuff. But it's something I've been kind of afraid to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
I can visualize it. I can visualize everything, like what I need to do, how I can pan the camera, how I can switch certain things, the height of the camera, all that stuff. The only issue is I honestly just don't want to do it.
Why don't you want to?
Is it just because it's like it's a lot of work?
Does
like
it go
it's
back to like
difficult?
being afraid of what other people might say about
I'm
it?
lazy.
You're lazy.
I'm gonna say straight up, I am lazy. That's why the way I make videos, it seems like I don't put a lot of effort, but I know like what I need in a way.
Interesting.
I see what
Okay.
you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I never wanted to do I always wanted to do scripted videos, but I never actually wanted to do it because it takes so much work. And it's honestly not that fun for me to sit down and write out a shot list of like, okay, this is an over-the-shoulder shot. It'll be 5 seconds long at this location with this weather with these people. It just takes so long, and it's not like the fun part. I like having the ideas like just popping out of my head, and then I like taking the camera and actually making it happen. But I don't really enjoy that part. So it took me a long time to actually be like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And once I did, I was really happy with the results. So it can be worth it. I mean, you might as well just give it a shot. You know what I'm saying?
I tried it before, but people don't care enough about the details.
You mean like the people that you're working with?
No, like the audience, they don't care enough. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna try as hard. People don't really care that much about quality to an extent.
Well, I think it depends. Like,
I think they appreciate it more than you realize it.
yo. Okay, this is really cool. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Matt. And then I got something.
Well, I think like when they see the finished product, they won't think like, oh, I'm so glad he did this, but they, they'll enjoy it better when you're doing it the way that you want to do it. I think people can sense authenticity, and if you're making something that you don't want to make, and you're making something like because you think that's what the audience wants, they're not going to enjoy it as much if they're just watching as much as they would enjoy just watching you be yourself. So in a way, you kind of have to, although you have to keep the audience in mind, you also have to forget about them if you want to make something that is interesting to you, because they'll pick that up as well.
This is something really cool. So one of the music artists that I really like recently, YBN Cordae. You ever listen to YBN Cordae at all?
I've been
Yeah.
listening to his song RNP on repeat.
Oh, dude, R&P is so good. But his newest album I really, really liked. I think it was called The Lost Boy. I'm pretty sure it was the title of the album. I liked the songs, but then I saw an interview with him. I think it was on Genius, and basically he was just talking. So someone was like, "So how do you think this album is gonna perform?" It was his first album that he's ever released, like first full length. Well, he did the mixtape with the other YBN members, but this was his first just him full length
Solo.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "So how do you think the album's gonna do?" And he was like, "Well, I'm not really concerned with the success of the first album as much as I am with making something spectacular and gaining fans that see my music and recognize it as something awesome and something real and want to see more of it, rather than just like each project trying to make it blow up, basically." So that's the mindset that I've had a lot, is like, especially with the last video that I made, the last one I released, the Almond Gang, that took, of my own time, 85 hours, which is not an exaggeration. 85 hours for a 3-minute long video, which is crazy, but it's the only reason is because the whole time it was like, I want to make it as good as I can possibly make it, even if people aren't going to appreciate it, because if I make it as good as I can make it, and then I can find things I can improve upon, I can push my limits of how good I can possibly make a video and what quality of video I can make. And then I can make stuff better and better and better and better and just keep pushing my own limits. And if you're not making everything as good as you can possibly make it, I honestly don't think it helps you improve. Like if you don't go to your limit of how good you can make a video and then look back and be like, all right, I can make that better and I can make that better, and then make something even better than what you could have possibly made before, I don't think it helps you push your limits as much. So,
And that's good that you did it that way, because even though it took so much time, you're proud of it now.
I'm very proud of it.
Like, same with my first 5-minute episode. Like, it didn't get a lot of reception, but like listening to it, I knew that it was exactly the way that I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I envisioned what I wanted the 5 minutes of advice to sound like, and when I was done with it, like, I knew, okay, this is what I saw in the beginning. And I had people come up to me and say, like, yo, like, it really like I really enjoyed it. Like they said, like, you know, the story was relatable and that it helped them like start to think about how they could become more confident. And like I wasn't even, I mean, I hate to say it, but I wasn't really thinking about them when I was making it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to put my ideas in a frame.
Yeah, that's what I've been feeling like. I want to make videos that I can look at and enjoy and appreciate. I don't necessarily, oh my gosh. All right. So back in 9th grade, you know, we were talking about 9th grade videos earlier. And I was like, oh, you're going to talk about the Nerf video? And luckily you weren't, but I'm bringing it up anyways. So back in 9th grade, I actually started a channel called Tactical Nerf, which hurts me to say that. Like, I legitimately have actual physical and mental pain saying that name. But the reason why is because I was on YouTube and I was looking up. I was somewhat legitimately into Nerf guns in 9th grade, somewhat, not massively. But
hey, it's good that you're coming forward about
it. Getting it off my chest. But I was watching like Nerf videos on YouTube or whatever, and I was like, yo, these look so easy to make, and they're getting millions of views. And I'm like, I know I could make something this good or better. But it wasn't because I really wanted to make the videos that I was making them. It was just because I thought I could get views. I just thought it would be an easy way to get views. And I didn't really enjoy making them. I didn't really enjoy editing them. And I actually made 4 full-length reviews of specific Nerf guns that I never even released because I didn't even like them. Like, they were fairly well made, but I didn't enjoy them. And because of that, I didn't enjoy the process, and it just kind of ruined the whole experience. But when I'm making a video that I want to make spectacular for my own enjoyment, that I know I can sit back and laugh at and enjoy, that's when I absolutely love the process. That's when I spend 85 hours on a 3-minute video and sit back and like, that was worth it because I enjoyed every minute of it. So I want to make absolutely spectacular content, push my limits, and make things that I myself will enjoy.
That's a good goal.
That's my goal.
Terrell, you have anything to add to that?
This might sound weird, and it might sound like the total opposite.
Hey, bro, whatever.
My goal is to just have fun in what I do and just have it be out there. Honestly, I feel like people will love me for just being happy.
Uh-huh. Hey, that's really similar. That's actually more similar to what I just said than what you would think. I mean, I'm saying I want to make something good because that's what I would enjoy. You're just saying you just want to enjoy what you're making.
Like, I don't want to have to kill myself and feel stressed making content. Like, even if I enjoy the process of making it, I don't like going through that process. Mm-hmm. It's not, it doesn't feel healthy.
Yeah, it's like what I read on Gary Vee's Instagram. You should make sacrifices. You should sacrifice for what you want, but you should not suffer for what you want.
Interesting. I mean, I think you shouldn't be in a constant state of suffering, because then what's the point? Like, why are you even doing it? But I mean, like cross country, for example, over the summer we have to wake up we have 6:30 practice in the morning every single day the entire summer. So it's like, is that sacrifice or suffering? I mean, it's definitely a sacrifice because I'd be out hanging out with friends or whatever, and it's like 8:30, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go because I gotta be awake at 6 a.m. I gotta eat dinner and go to bed, which just sucked. But I mean, and it's like, that's definitely a big sacrifice, but it also honestly was kind of suffering. I mean, it wasn't fun a lot of times. Like, a lot of the things I had to do for it weren't fun, but the practices themselves and and eventually being able to know that I'd done everything I could to prepare for the races, that was what was fun. So I mean, I don't think I agree that you shouldn't be in a constant state of suffering, because then why are you even doing it?
Yeah,
but
and looking back on it, like, now that I think about it, that's kind of why I had to drop out my second year of band, because I was really kind of enjoying it the first year. As terrible as it was, I was...
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude, the band kids.
Marching band is crazy. Like, you will never get out of marching band the same person that you were when you entered.
We watch you guys out there just carrying your like massive instruments, and it's like 100 degrees outside in the summer.
Like 8 hours a week.
Oh my gosh.
And so I had
terrible.
The second year, like, I kind of just realized this as you were saying that, but it became the things that I enjoyed about it were becoming a silver lining rather than
To an overall negative experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
think
just couldn't
it's-
handle that.
I think it's okay to have small points that you don't enjoy, but you're like, yo, this is worth it because I enjoy most other parts of it. Like writing the script. Like I don't actually really enjoy sitting down and writing a script. It's not that I necessarily hate it, but it feels like a chore. It feels like a task that I don't really feel super driven to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like force myself to do it because I'm like, you have this great idea in your head. It's such a good idea and you can visualize it, but you can't create it because like other people can't see your same vision. So the people I have working with me, like they can't see my same vision and I can't communicate it super well through words. You have to get it on this sheet of paper so you can see the whole thing outlined in front of you and you can actually start the process of creating it and so everyone else can do it with you. But it's not that I really enjoy the script writing itself. It's more that I'm like, I'm not really enjoying this part, but it's worth it because I love every other step of the process and I want to see this creation get made. So I honestly think some suffering is okay. Like, because that's not necessarily a sacrifice. It's something I really don't enjoy that much. But I think it's worth it to do that because I enjoy the other parts of the process. Personally, from my own point of view.
I'm going to have to disagree with that.
For real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like, okay, but for
I
example.
think if the sacrifices are becoming like larger than the reward,
Yeah.
that's suffering.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, in that case, maybe, then it's not suffering. But, because that's honestly, it's not it's a very large part of the process, but it's not the majority of the process. So, I don't know. I guess, but like, I was about to equate it to like, so how much do you enjoy editing these podcasts?
Not a lot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, because I personally, I really enjoy editing my videos, but I can enjoy editing just
You
a
do too,
big,
Terrell?
Yeah.
but
Music.
yeah, for sure. But I can enjoy. I can see how editing a massive block of just in one audio file, it's a lot harder to visualize it in front of you. Like with video, I see the video in front of me and I'm like, dude, this is good stuff. Like, you know, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Or with a song, it's a lot shorter. So you can listen to it and be like, yo, this is good.
No. Songs take forever.
Really?
Tell us
The
about
one
that.
song we made, it probably took like 4 hours.
No way.
No, like constant, like no breaks. We're all just sitting there working.
Yeah.
Because you'll have a sound, you need to cut it, place it. Like,
Is that
it's
like
less-
is that like with the beat already made? It takes that long, or is that
yeah,
including?
that's
making
just
the
with the
beat?
beat already made.
Oh my god.
If you're creating the beat, and at a certain point we're going to get to that, it's going to get hectic. But it's so fun.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm in there, one thing I can say, if I was not there, I feel like things wouldn't be the same. I kind of like direct certain things.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of people have ideas, but they're like, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? And they all turn and look at me. I'm just like, we're going to do it like this. And everyone kind of like runs off my energy, and it's really fun. That's the thing I really love about like directing.
I definitely
film.
It's that state of mind where you're just creating, where you're just pouring out creative energy and making things happen. I love being in that state of mind. That's what filming is like for me. When I have the script written and I'm with the guys that I'm working with, and where I'm like, all right, we're getting this shot. All right, we're getting this shot. Let's get the lighting different. And you're just going and going and going for hours at a time with no breaks. That's such a fun feeling. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's something that I want because I'm also making content. It's different for me because I see how I want a conversation to play out. But like, you give a different answer to something, like I'll bring up the 9th grade controversy, and that totally changed the direction when you didn't remember it.
Yeah,
so, so it's different because I'm documenting and you guys are creating. So like after a lot of episodes, like I go home and I look at the footage and it's like, yo, this was not like what I wanted it to be. But if you
really think about it, you created this.
How so?
We wouldn't be here if you didn't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a good
I curated it.
If you really think about it, you created this entire thing. If you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I brought you guys here, so I do get to take the credit for that.
Okay. It's just a way of thinking. When you do certain things, you just...
That's interesting though. That's like, That's almost like saying that a director like created a movie. Like he definitely did, but the script writers wrote the script, and then the actors put their own like personalities into the role. You know what I'm saying? So Matt definitely started the process. He definitely was the spark or whatever that started the whole thing. But all three of us are each shaping and forming.
Yeah, we
this.
all have important
Yeah,
roles.
for sure. We're all forming
the
this
thing.
as we're going through it.
Yeah.
But you just have to understand your role.
Yeah.
And your role is you put it together. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like no one is not important. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone is important.
Right.
But when you actually know your role, it's the best feeling. And
Yeah.
seeing it actually being done because of what you're doing.
So
Yeah.
I'm still discovering my role then. I don't know like when to be the interviewer, the conversation
Interesting.
member. Like maybe that's just what I need to do. I need to stay in it long enough to find my role,
Mhm.
and then
I mean, different
it'll
people
start
do
to
it
become
differently.
fun for me the way it is for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, different people do it differently. Like the one that you just showed me. Do they like it was called Basement?
Basement Yard.
Yeah, Basement Yo. Do they normally have the same people on there for most of it?
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
two guys.
Okay, yeah. So it's always the same two guys. So that's interesting because that's somewhat different than what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Because they know each other, so they're completely comfortable with playing off of each other's energy. So
Mhm.
it's a lot easier for them to have supernatural, like just conversation that just flows because they know each other and they know how to play off of each other. But when you have people in here, I kind of know Terrell, but not super well, and I barely know you at all. And so it's just different. It's more like I feel like it. I mean, obviously, it's whatever you want it to be, is the direction it's gonna take. But I feel like it might be easier for it to be more of an interviewer, interviewee type of thing, because that would just keep the conversation going.
Yeah. There's definitely a certain energy that I want to match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, you have to figure out how to do that, like, as soon as you get your guests together.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to think of it as like an objective. The whole point of this is just to talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean that's one way to do it. That's
So-
definitely
to make a
talk.
conversation for people to enjoy and relate
People
to.
enjoy that.
yeah.
Your role is just to get people together and talk. That's cool.
So what you're saying is I should just have no expectations at all when I go into
Interesting.
this.
Well, there's definitely
As long as you're
completely
getting
different ways to think
content
about it.
and you're able to work with it and create something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's all you really need.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just what do you think will give you the best content is the thing.
Yeah. But that's all up to you to decide.
Yeah.
No one else.
Wow.
Lots of thoughts here, man. Lots
Yeah.
of introspective thoughts here. This has not
I'm
been
gonna have
the
to
most,
let that marinate for like the next couple days.
dude. This has not been the most lighthearted. Matt was like, "Bro, we should have lots of like lighthearted conversation. Just keep it funny, easy going." And it's just hard hitting thought, basically, just deep thought. We just dig a hole and keep digging deeper into one idea. Interesting. I am very interested to see what you're gonna do with this entire episode, Matt.
Yeah, we might have to split it up into 2 episodes. Do you guys
For
want
real,
to
though? You
do?
think so?
Can you do 2 closing segments?
I would be okay with it. I mean,
Because
yeah,
a lot
for
of this
sure.
footage is good, and I don't want to have to cut more
Yeah.
than I need to.
Something interesting. I mean, everyone does it very differently. One of my favorite YouTubers. I spend so much time on YouTube, like an
me too.
obscene amount
Me
of
too.
time. And one of my favorite guys on there is Video Game Donkey, and he's not the most. He has, I think, 5.5 million subscribers right now, so he's not massively well known. But the fan base that he has is incredibly devoted to him. And the reason why is because he produces exceptional content. Basically, he will spend like 40. He'll end up with like 40 hours of footage, and he'll make like a 4-minute video out of that.
Wow.
He does a lot of like gaming reviews or whatever.
That's commitment. Really.
So he will play through an entire like single player game. Play through an entire game and not just like beating it as fast as possible, fully experiencing the game, and then make a review using 4 minutes of footage evenly spread out throughout that entire play process. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like I don't want to. I think he marks it as he goes. But my point is that he takes a huge amount of footage and then condenses it into such a small compartment that he only has the absolute best of the best content that he can make that he puts up on his channel. And that's why his stuff is so exceptional. So, I mean, I'm taking inspiration from a lot of different guys with what I'm creating. But for the vlog type videos that I'm doing, that's what I'm going for. I want to shoot a ton of footage and then condense it into as small a space as possible. So it's just the best content that
The
people
highlight
want to see.
reel.
Almost like a highlight reel, yeah. But still one with a storyline. Because his videos aren't just random clips. Like they have like pre-written narration and dialogue. But he backs them up with, I don't know. My point is that, I mean, if you want to make it 2 episodes, go for it. I don't know what's going to be best. It's your show.
To get the most views.
I'm just putting out the idea. I'm just saying that's one of the guys that I really like. That's what he does. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know what would work best.
I know it gets the most views, but it's what you're kind of avoiding.
What is it?
Adult-like content. It gets the most views. People like things that aren't normal. They like things that are kind of like crazy in a way, but relatable. And it's like, I thought of that. I understand.
Is that your hands? Okay.
Ew, wait. What? I have to dry his hands. So.
Like iDubbbz reviewing chicken in a sewer.
That was Ben squeezing his hands together.
Just letting you know. Yeah, I can do it on command. Things that aren't normal. Like iDubbbz, he does his food reviews, and he'll just get in a sewer with a gallon can full of peaches and pour them on himself while screaming in a sewer. And that's just what he does.
Cool. That's just a whole.
It's not normal.
That's a whole nother level. Like I will never be on.
Yeah, it's definitely not the only approach, but certain people have certainly found success with it. But anyways, I'm just curious, Matt. Do you have any more pre-prepared questions, or have we gone through them all?
The last one that's not a part of the closing segments is: do you feel like the YouTube algorithm has worked against you in any way? Because I know that it favors established creators and longer videos now that it prioritizes watch time more than views. So is there any way that you feel like the algorithm has kind of failed you or other new creators?
Well, I mean, I've never had anything. Oh, actually, you know what? All right. On Almondboi, I've never had anything that's gone like big before. I've never had anything that's, I think the highest one I have on there has like 300 views, and it's the Almond Gang that I recently released. But on a different channel that from way back in the day when I was just starting to first make stuff with my cousins called Cousin Stuff. We have a couple of videos on there that are actually pretty big. There's one that has, I think, give me a second. I think it's at like 16,000 views. And there's another one that's at like 13,000 views.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, Terrell, what's your most viewed video?
The Blake interview. Yeah.
What do you think made that so popular amongst the audience?
Blake, like he was
just his personality?
He's funny. I just like how he's so open. He goes up to people and he just says whatever's on his mind. None of the questions he asked people were like pre-written. He just went up and improvised.
Just off the dome.
And he's so, I don't know. I'm like inspired by that. He's an inspiration to me in a way.
That's cool.
Just because I know he might seem odd or whatever, but
he's vulnerable. Like he puts himself in a vulnerable situation.
And he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He just lives. I think it's a good way to fucking live. Oh shoot. It's a good way to live.
Oh, you're good.
You know.
Yeah, it is.
29 minutes for the timestamp on that if you're interested in that.
Oh yeah, so I can go back to it.
Do you watch all of this?
For the first few episodes, I was not doing that because I was just saying like, here we have 1 hour, go. But
interesting.
For like the last, I think starting at episode 6, I started actually listening to it. So for the past 3 episodes, I've been listening to it and like cutting stuff down.
That's crazy. When I made the lasagna, I call it the lasagna video. It was titled "Food," kitchen cook sim. Oh, what the heck was it called, dude? Food. I was fucking. God, I'm sorry. 29 minutes.
Look what you did, Terrell.
Me and Terrell.
You opened up
at
the 29
minutes. I literally stopped myself like 3 times in a row, and then I lost it. All right, whatever. I'm going to answer the question that you asked me before because I don't know where I was going with a lot. Oh, cooking simulator, but in real life, which is just cooking normally. That was meant to be the joke. And we shot oh my gosh, we shot 4 hours of footage for that video, and I condensed it into 16 minutes. But even then it was too long because it was just so long. I mean, no one wants to click on a 16-minute YouTube video from a guy they've never seen before, that has 100 views on a video. So...
But the algorithm does favor videos like that.
It does, but if you're so small, the algorithm doesn't really matter. Really? If you're that video is not it's not really clickbaited. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
that's the other part of the formula.
You have to make your videos friendly for people to want to click on them or somehow enticing. So it's a big commitment to click on a 20-something minute video because if you want to get the full, just subconsciously, if you want to get the full benefit from the video, you have to watch the whole thing to get the full benefit. So if you click on a 20-minute video, you're okay, I can either click off early and just it's wasted, or I have to watch an entire 20-minute video from a guy that I never seen before. It's not a super interesting topic. It's only got 100 views. He's only got 100 subscribers. I don't think so, right? So it's all about, especially on YouTube, I don't really know about other sites, but on YouTube, it's all about making the videos interesting to people and also friendly to click on. So I'm trying to make more. I know 10 minutes is the general rule. YouTubers want to hit 10 minutes for YouTube to feature their videos more. Mm-hmm. But if YouTube isn't going to feature your videos anyways because they're not getting any popularity, you got to make them friendly for people to want to click on. So I'm trying to make everything as short as possible. But anyways, like I was saying, you're talking about the algorithm. On cousin stuff, way back when, we made one video called Super Weird Fireworks in all caps with an exclamation point. And it's currently sitting at 28,000 views, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
For me
how long was it?
It's 8 minutes long, so it's a longer one.
Okay.
But that one has a clickbait title. So every year on 4th of July, that one gets several thousand more views because people are looking up firework videos.
Well, that's the formula. You got to have a clickbaity title and thumbnail.
Yeah, that's not the best thumbnail, unfortunately. But,
and then, if people watch it all the way through, YouTube recognizes that and says, hey, if people are...
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to. So what I've been working with on Almondboi, obviously the Almond Gang is not very a clickbait title. But the thumbnail, we set up this crazy silhouette shot in the garage, and I was actually really happy with it. I thought it looked sick. And a lot of people were like, dude, the thumbnail is really good. It just looks really interesting. So I'm trying to make stuff that is clickbait, but then I want to deliver on the clickbait. I don't want to make clickbait and then someone watches it and they're it sucks,
Yeah.
I want to make clickbait and then someone watches it and they're like, I am so glad I watched that video because it was really funny. Let's see what else this guy has. Oh, that's really good too. All right, I'm going to subscribe. That's the formula I'm going for. So for example, the video that I'm releasing, and I release on the 15th of every month. I'm not sure how I got on that schedule. It just kind of happened just by chance. So I release a video on the 15th of every month. I might change that to try and make it easier to remember, on the 1st or whatever. But so I'm releasing a video in 3 days. I have no idea how I have it edited by then, but it's titled, it'll be reviewing every single flavor of Monster Energy in 15 seconds or less.
We should have an editing party because I need to edit this with you guys. And really, it made it so much more fun to edit episode 6 with Pete and John.
Uh-huh.
So...
I mean, we got Monday off.
And then we can help you edit. And then Terrell, we can make a video. Terrell, we need to make a video with you because that'll complete the cross promotion.
Trifecta, bro.
Yeah. I need it.
Yeah, I would love to help you with a project, Terrell, because that was your narration. Seriously, made that video 10 times better. I don't think it would have worked with what I had in mind if it had been the other people that I had, especially myself. But anyways, so with the monster video, that one I'm hoping is clickbaity. It's reviewing every single flavor. I actually looked on YouTube, and there was one other guy who had titled Monster Review Every Flavor. And I was like, okay, let's see how this guy did. I got to be better than him or whatever. And I clicked on it, and the video was god-awful. It was him and with just a folding table set up and his 2 of his friends, completely unscripted, which isn't necessarily the end of the world. But Monster, there's about 36 flavors if you don't include the coffees, which I don't because they suck. And he only had, I think, 12 flavors, so he was about 1/3 true, 2/3 lying with this title. And then the quote-unquote review was one of them would sip one and be like, oh, yeah, that's stronger than I thought it would be. And the video was like 20 minutes long, super dry, uninteresting, poorly done, no good information.
So there was no charisma shining through, is what you're saying.
And it had like 16,000 views. And I was like, okay, if this terrible video that's really long, I mean, I'm sure the guys won't watch this, but if they are, your video is bad.
Oh, everyone watches this. They're coming for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel kind of bad for trashing them like this, but I mean, I was like, if this video can get 16,000 views, I'm going to make one that is way better than this, absolutely blow this one out of the water, and make it way shorter, and actually do every single flavor. And I bet it can actually do really well. So that's what I'm trying to do, basically, what we were talking about, like how to succeed on YouTube. A lot of times it seems like you need to be really clickbaity to get, especially when you're a smaller creator. If you don't have an established audience, you have to be clickbaity or else no one's going to click on your stuff. Like new people who don't know who you are. So I'm making this one clickbaity. I took an awesome thumbnail with all 36 cans of Monster spread out in front of me on a table, and me just with my arms back like this. I got a really good thumbnail for it. And the title is a pretty good one as well. So that's clickbait, but then I want to deliver on the clickbait.
Yeah, you got to deliver.
I've probably spent 70 hours so far, and I have not edited that one yet. Because for each can,
I hope we can help you with that one.
For each can, I had a scripted little segment I would read for it. So, like, seriously, the entire 10-minute video is scripted. And I had to memorize those scripts, write them. I had to actually spend the time, like, tasting the flavors, reviewing it. There would be times, it would be a school night. It's 9:00 p.m. and I'm drinking Monster. Like, I have to be awake, like, 8 hours from them, and I'm drinking Monster. Because I was just so excited and just dedicated to the process. But my train of thought, like I told you, is just all over the place. Like, I don't even know where I started and where I'm finishing.
I have the best method for you. Are you trying to, like, expand yourself? Right? In a way?
Yeah, but in what way?
Okay. You have to do these two things. I promise.
Go for it.
It's these two things. You have to make hella connections. That's number one. Thanks. You have to talk to people that you don't talk to.
You need people.
Because look, this might sound weird, but you talk to someone,
mm-hmm.
and they talk about you to someone else. It's like a constant chain. It's a chain. Yeah. It's a chain reaction. You have to, the more you talk, the more active you are, the more you will grow. That's number one. Number two, you have to do things other people want, but to an extent where you're happy. Because if you do those two things, you're doing what people like and you're happy and you're talking, you're going to just expand. But everyone wants to do the things they want to do. You know what I mean?
So when you say you have to do things that you want or that other people want, is that other things that people want me to do or other things that people want to do?
What people want you to do. You have to do that. I know no one likes doing that, but that's the beginning stage. You do that, and then at a certain point when you're big enough, mm-hmm. you can do what you want to do. And since enough people know who you are, they'll support you.
I think it's I think you have to find a middle point. It's like there's two different lines. There's the line of stuff you want to do and the line of stuff that people want to see. I think you have to find the point where they cross and, like, find the stuff that you really will enjoy doing, that you can be passionate about, but that you know other people are going to be interested in. That's exactly where I was going with the Monster video. I had a ton of other ideas for stuff to make, but that was one of the ideas I was excited about. And I was excited about a bunch of ideas, but that one I knew people would have legitimate interest in, and that's why I chose it, because it was something people wanted. But at the same time, it was something I was super passionate about creating. So I think you got to find a perfect, like, middle point, where you love it and you want to create it and other people want to see it.
Yeah. I think that's good advice.
Think of artists and YouTube creators. They always seem to change at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
When they're changing, it's most of the time because they're doing what they really wanted to do.
That's Niga Higa switching over to podcast, because when he was making, originally he was just making whatever videos he wanted to make. And then he started to make stuff like PUBG, the official fake trailer, or like Fortnite, the official fake trailer. And it's pretty clear at that point he's catering to what he thinks is going to get the most views. And he made a video being like, yo, I've stopped enjoying making videos because I'm just doing what other people want and I'm not making what I want to make. And he was like, you know what I want to make is a podcast. And so that's what I'm going to do. And a lot of people weren't excited about that. And a lot of people still are not happy about it. But you're definitely right. Yeah, a lot of people are. But I mean, obviously his podcast videos are not doing nearly as well as his previous videos had been doing. But so Terrell, you're definitely right that people reach a point where they just are like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
But I feel like you shouldn't do that until a certain point.
It definitely can make it harder. It definitely can make it harder to get big. But that's why I was saying, like, you need to do stuff, especially when you're starting out. If you make stuff that nobody wants to see, then it's never going to go anywhere. But if you can find a midpoint where it's stuff people are interested in, but it's also stuff you really want to create, that's perfect. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. That's why everyone can't do it. Just mentally, you have to be able to take that in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the guts to do things that other people want to do. Wow.
What was that about, like, lighthearted, funny stuff, Matt?
Yeah.
See, it's hard because we're creators, and I'm pretty sure we're kind of stressed about it, and we're just telling you how we feel.
Yeah, no,
Bro,
this is really good.
I'm stressed because I'm supposed to be releasing that video in 2 days, and 3 days. Today's basically over, and I have barely scratched the surface of editing the 40+ clips I have to put together somehow.
We're gonna have to help each other.
No, honestly, I think I'm just gonna edit that one by myself. I edit best when I have 0 distractions, 0 outside input. I'm just 100% focused.
Okay. I don't feel the same way. If you guys could help me out with this one.
That's what I was saying with the podcast. We kind of have to start off a certain way. Like Ninja, how do you think his following got so big? Did you see the way he was acting at the beginning? He was a complete, he was very vulgar.
There you go. That's a good way to say it.
That's what people liked about him, you know?
Yeah.
And when he changed up.
He got bigger, though. He got bigger because...
I didn't even know that he was vulgar at one point in time. I heard about him when he was, like, making the rounds on talk shows and stuff because he was very charismatic in his videos. Like, a lot of people were playing Fortnite better than he was, but he was making it interesting for people to watch. He was being charismatic. He was being himself. I thought that was what made him big, but are you saying it was something else?
Well, Terrell's...
When he started off, he talked a lot of shit. He was kind of an asshole.
This whole segment just...
No, I'm serious. Like, he was real. And then when he switched up, that's when people kind of looked at him a little different. But that helped him blow because he was giving the people what they want, and he was happy. But he wanted, like... I don't know.
It made him a lot bigger because if you're acting super vulgar, it limits your audience because people who are in their 40s, I mean, obviously people in their 40s aren't watching a Fortnite streamer anyways, but like kids who have parents who are like monitoring what they're watching and telling them what to watch and what they're not allowed to watch, like just younger kids in elementary school, whatever. That's the majority of the people that were interested in Fortnite, which was his majority, which was what he was doing really at that point. He was a Fortnite streamer. So in order for him to really, what pushed him to the next level was definitely the fact that he stopped being vulgar, was because it opened up his audience so much more. And people that like weren't allowed to watch him were allowed to watch him. People that wouldn't have considered it were able to consider it. But what Terrell is saying is that Ninja got big by being edgy and vulgar and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was kind of giving the people what they want.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. This has been a really good conversation because I love hearing from people who do things that I don't, I love hearing from people who do things similar to what I do, but not the same. Because
not the same way.
Yeah, because if I'm speaking to someone else who's also starting a podcast the way I am, like, I can only get so far with them before we run out of ideas. But when there are parallels, like between video creators and podcasters, like you get more ideas on the table.
If you're doing the same thing as somebody else, you've both got the same things to say. But when we got all 3 of us in here who are all content creators, but we're all doing it a different way, I mean, yeah,
it's cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
really
literally
fun.
like, dude, I mean, this whole time I've just been like jumping because I just got like adrenaline going.
You're
inspired.
inspired.
I don't even know. It's just a good conversation. I just feel the energy, you know?
Yeah.
Knowing someone's doing something different, but it's working.
Yeah, for sure.
In a way.
Matt, you want to hit those closing segments?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're like,
been
total time is
a
almost 2
blast.
hours at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So our first segment is endorsements. Endorsements are things that you want to promote, but you're not associated with and you're not sponsored by.
Interesting.
I will go first. Google Photos. A lot of people think that you have to have Pixel or like whatever to use it. You don't. Okay. So Google Photos is a cloud backup service. If you have Gmail, if you have YouTube, if you have a Google account, you have it. And you can upload all of your pictures and videos for free as long as they're under 2048 by 2048 pixels. So it's basically a no-brainer. Like if you have a Google account, you should be using Google Photos. Even if you have an iPhone, like you can download the app, it'll upload them all for free. And it makes it a lot easier to share your pictures and videos. It makes it easier to find them. You can group them by like faces. It even recognizes pets. So like it doesn't just know what a cat looks like. It knows what my cat looks like versus my cousin's cat.
That's actually pretty impressive.
It really is. So Google Photos, 100%, I endorse it.
All right. I guess if we're just going in the circle, I'll go next. Dude, I had no idea what to say for this, so I'm just going to go with music artists. The specific ones, two that come to mind. If you like lyrical rap music, NF is really, really good. Just for sheer power, and it's not necessarily aggressive, but it is aggressive. I don't know how to describe it, but I get chills when I listen to his music. I think he's underrated.
Yeah, I've heard his music too. It sounds like he's putting it all into every.
And also YB and Cordae as well. I had no idea what we were supposed to do for this segment, so it's just the top of my head, the first things I could think of. YB and Cordae, I think he's definitely going to get a lot bigger than where he's at right now. I think his stuff is spectacular, especially his newest album. So many just really good vibes. He sounds really good. He has a really good flow. So that's my endorsement.
Nice. Terrell?
Okay. For me, I will have to say a music artist specifically.
Okay.
Pierre Bourne. I really love this guy.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird. Very, very weird, but he inspires me. He makes music. He did a lot of things on his own, and it kind of makes me, like, it reminds me so much of myself. He makes beats. He puts things together. He works with others. He constantly, like, looks out for another person, and it helps boost himself up. So basically, he's helping people around him while helping himself at the same time. He created a label, and then he has people signed. They're making money. Like it's just a good feeling knowing other people are benefiting off of you and you're benefiting too off of them. It's weird. It's a mutual thing.
It's like J. Cole with Dreamville.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I'll check out Pierre. I have him.
And that album you're always talking about on your story.
I just like it because.
What's it called?
It's called The Life of Pierre 4.
Life of Pierre 4. And.
Yes. Listen to it.
You like it because.
I like it because, like, the sounds and the transition, like, every song on that album transitions really well into the other, and it just
nice.
That's like Jaden,
yeah,
like,
Jaden does
he
that.
always does that, just meaning that, like, listening to the album top to bottom is such a good experience. It's like everything just blends seamlessly together. You don't even really notice where one song starts and another one stops.
Yeah, he does this method where he'll have a sound playing, and he uses that same sound, and it like blares into the, like, he builds a beat off of one sound. It's cool. The way he does it.
I'll check him out.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll check him out. That's cool.
If you really sit there and listen to it and analyze every little thing, you'll notice.
All right, what you got for us,
Sweet.
Matt?
Let's see. Before we move on to the next segment, I want to say, like, that is something that I really do appreciate that artists do, because with the age of streaming, they know that a lot of people are only going to listen to their music one song at a time. So when they put the effort into making the album like a complete artistic expression, like, I really appreciate when artists do that. So the next segment was going to be, what are you listening to? But I think we just answered that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
I got a couple more that I'm listening to.
Yeah, same too.
I got
go for it.
All right. Well, on top of that, I've been listening to a lot of, just Dreamville in general. But I mean, obviously J. Cole from listening to Dreamville, and then JID as well is really good. J. Cole says that JID will be bigger than him. I don't think it's true, but I think that JID is really good. So I've been listening to JID a lot. What about you, Terrell?
Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Kanye.
Yeah, dude,
Really?
you're always putting The College Dropout on your story.
Kanye, son,
a good album.
I love any producer who tries to become a rapper because they're starting to realize they are more than just something. They're not in a box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can do a lot of things and be able to help others at the same time. People like that are amazing to me.
Is there a way to... I know people don't like this question when they're big fans of Kanye, but do you have a favorite Kanye album? See, a lot of people don't like this question because they say, "Well, you can't rank them. They're all their own. They're all great on their own. Like you can't choose a favorite child."
I have to say my favorite one's College Dropout. It has to be. Because when I listen to that album, I can listen to it complete. Like every song.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other albums, I skip a few songs.
Yeah.
But that one, if you're able to listen to every song, it's definitely...
It's rare.
It's the best.
Yeah. That's
So
how I feel
College
with...
Dropout. It's the best one.
That's how I feel with Lemonade by Beyonce.
I haven't listened to it.
You haven't?
No.
Lemonade is probably my favorite.
It's probably really good. I never listened to it.
It's really good because, first of all, the narrative flows from beginning to end. Like, she stays right on topic. It's always, like, about the same narrative of, like, finding her husband cheating on her. But she goes through so many different levels of emotion and expresses it so well throughout the different songs. Like, the diversity of the tracks is just crazy. But you always know that you're listening to the same album because it all strings together so nicely.
That's actually a really good way to describe it. Something that we said earlier, just about how you said you really appreciate artists who take the time to make the album itself like a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Especially just, I mean, the people who make it one song flow into the next. That blows my mind because most people create so many songs that they never release. So it's like, how can you make an album and be like, this song is definitely going on the album before you even create the song, just because you know that it's coming out of the last one, you know? Like, I think it was like Logic from a long time ago said that he had, like back when he was still on like The Incredible True Story or whatever, said he had made like 1,500 songs or like 1,200 songs, some insane number. And I was just like, what? And there's only like 15 songs on the album or whatever. It's like, but then to only create, I mean, I'm sure Jaden has created more songs, or Pierre as well, but to create songs that flow, it's from one to the other. It's like you have to plan out beforehand. This one's definitely going on the album. It blows my mind you can do that and still make something spectacular.
Some people, they just make the album at once. All of it. So it's like one giant song if you really think about it. Just like, okay, I'm going to take this, and then I'm just put another beat pattern, like constantly switch it up. Mm-hmm. It's weird. That's why I like a lot of albums with no singles on them. Because you know they made that one project, and they're not really like trying to focus on money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. No music videos, no singles, but you can still pick your favorite tracks. And when you listen to it all at once, you know, like, it's different from anything he's created before. Like, you know that he wanted all of those tracks to be together. And, yeah.
It's cool.
Really elevates.
That's cool.
Elevates the music.
All right. What else, Matt?
All right.
I know you're getting tired.
No, I'm not getting tired. I'm just like, I just want to keep it moving, you know? I don't want it to get dry.
Yeah, we've been at it a while.
Oh my god,
it's 9:26.
5.5 hours, dude. Not 5.5 hours of talking. Keep in mind, because it took us 3 hours to get started. I mean, I was an hour late, and then it took us 2 hours to. I really wasn't. I feel bad about that.
That's okay.
All right, what else you got for us, Matt?
So our final segment is uplifting moments. I used to call this one proud Christian moment, but I felt that was a little too narrow. So anything that you've seen that, you've seen someone being a good person, you've seen God act in a way that only he could have done. One thing is, earlier this week, I was thinking like, what is it about girls that whenever they want you to know that they like them, why don't they just tell you? Why do they make us guess? And
True, bro.
later that day, yeah.
Sorry.
What? No,
No, it was nothing. It literally was nothing.
Oh.
I don't know where I was
Continue,
going with it.
continue.
Okay.
Later that day.
So,
I like this.
later that day, I was sitting at the lunch table with my friends, and my friend Jenna, her friend said to her, "Wow, your friend's really cute," and like I didn't hear it because she said it to Jenna, and then before the school day ended, she had slid into my DMs and she was like, "Hey, I don't want to do any corny stuff. I'm just here to say like, I want to talk to you." And that was such a refreshing change of pace to have someone just tell me like, "Hey, I want to talk to you," not to try to like be all subtle about it. Just to say it was like, "Yes, thank you. That's what I've been looking for."
Matt, just flexing on us, bro. I mean, dang, no, I see what you're saying, though. That's definitely
yeah.
see what you're saying. That's cool.
So any girl who's listening to this, do that.
Yeah, bro, for real.
Please. Damn this. Oh my God. That's so annoying.
Oh,
I have to make the first move every time.
Yeah. They leave us guessing. And I was saying earlier that day, like, if a girl wants a guy to ask her out, she's just going to have to do it herself. Like, we are so dumb. We cannot take hints. You cannot wait for us to know it. Like, you just got to go in or else it might not happen.
Not that this is a common occurrence, but there was one person who was like, I literally had a crush on you the entire last year, and I was dropping hints the entire time. And I'm like, can you please name one of them? Because I literally have no recollection of any of that. So, yeah, I definitely see what you're saying, Matt. And that is definitely good advice. But, I mean, part of it, I've for so long, like, just like what we were talking about earlier, it kind of ties in about just going for stuff and not being afraid of the consequences, like knowing what they could be and acting with intelligence, but not being afraid of like social consequences.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
Yeah. Just shooting shots, like it can be really, really sketchy.
What do you think, Terrell?
I've been so afraid to take L's for so long, but eventually I've been like, you know what? If you don't take L's, you're never going to take W's either. Yeah. So I'm just going to start taking L's, and eventually I'll take a W.
Do you know how many L's I have? Dude, I'm so serious. I've tried talking to so many girls.
All right, what would you say that your relationship KD, like your relationship kill to death ratio is?
I have like a 0.03. Like I am super negative.
Oh, that's so bad.
Like
That's
I'll try
really bad.
talking to a girl, right? And she'd be like, didn't you try talking to my friend like last week or whatever? But it's like,
Oh, no.
come on, when am I ever
so
supposed to
awkward.
make a move? I try to talk to a girl and I always get hit with the same. It's like a chain reaction. Talk to one girl. Didn't you try talking to her? Okay, I'm talking to a new girl. Didn't you try talking to her? It's like, come on, when can I get a fresh start?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, a lot of times I think it can be, if you're finding it difficult to get an opening, a lot of times I think you don't have to necessarily have a relationship in mind. You can just start talking to someone just because they're fun to talk to,
Yeah.
Just start getting to know them better just because you think they're a fun person. And then eventually that it might grow into something it might not, but it's just a little bit of an easier way. It's less stressful, you don't have to feel like you're pursuing a relationship. You can just be talking to somebody just for the fun of it,
Yeah.
And it might grow into something if it's natural.
This might be weird too to say, but sometimes I kind of like. There's a man craving, okay? We all know the man craving, and I can't control that. So sometimes I'll try to rush things.
Yeah. It just makes it.
It's so tough.
No, I know. It just makes it like if you try to rush something, it just makes it a lot harder to have something real. Because like if you really want to have like an honest and open relationship, it's only gonna happen if you're only pursuing an honest and like open relationship, you know, and then like things come after that, right?
Yeah.
You got any closing the rest of the closing stuff first, Matt? Since we got like.
This was the last one. You guys have your uplifting moments.
Oh yeah. Terrell, you want to go first?
We got like 5 minutes because I got to be somewhere after
Terrell,
this.
you want to go first?
No, you go first.
I'm not entirely prepared for this one.
I'm not either. I don't even know what you asked.
Should we just like
uplifting moments? Any positive thing that's happened to you? Anything unexpected positive? If you saw someone else just doing something unexpected and really cool for someone else, or anything like. Okay, wait. Can the positive moments be?
Negative.
Nah. I can't.
Yeah, a lot of my positive moments have been negative.
just?
Hey, you know what? If you learned from it.
Yeah.
Can you say it in like 3 minutes?
Like I've had a lot of things happen to me.
Yeah.
Like I'll have friends that I'm not friends with anymore,
Okay.
but it's benefited me in a good way. It's made me stronger mentally. I'm able to see different things. Like it creates a new way of thinking.
Ooh, I got the positive moment. Whenever you're done, I got it in my head.
Like I'm not gonna say names, but I had a friend who's kind of like he's been doing like shady stuff. Like he does backstabbing stuff, and I realized it, but I never really said anything. But I finally like went up to him and told him how I felt, and he like showed his true colors, that he wasn't really like my true friend.
Wow.
And that uplifted me because it made, instead of thinking in a negative way, I was like, now I understand how people are, and now I'm going to do better. Like I don't know, it benefited me some kind of way. It made me feel better.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely good because you don't want to be fake. It's better to have no relationship at all, in my opinion, than to have one that's forced. That's not really there. So if you know that someone's on some BS, I guess, since it's a censored podcast, I 100% think it's better just to voice your opinion. And if they want to cut you off, I say take that as a positive, you know. But I got my uplifting moment.
Go for it.
So, for so long, I've been, dude, you just started talking about relationships, and this is like honestly such a, like, I don't know, it's like such an opening up thing. Yeah, we got like 2 minutes left on the podcast, so I'm gonna try to stay focused on topic. But for so long, I've been trying to pursue a relationship without changing anything about myself for the sake of the relationship. Terrell, you can get this on recording, bro. Go for it. For so long, and it's because I've had the thought process that like I would rather have no relationship at all than have a relationship that's only occurring because I'm changing something about myself to make it happen, because that's not sustainable. I don't want to.
It's not authentic.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not something real. And I think at the end of it, it would just be a waste of time. But like, because of that, there's been so many people that have been like driven off by how just completely off the wall, out of the ordinary I am. And it just really starts to wear you down, because it's like, I really want a relationship with someone. Like I really do. Like I want to have someone I can be just really close with. And it's difficult because I'm such a different kind of person, I guess. Like not many people can connect with the same energy.
Yeah, it's exhausting to have to pretend to be someone else.
Definitely. But so it was starting to wear me down. But finally, and like seriously, I was like, my normal confidence is generally sky high. Like I don't care about other people's opinions. I am myself and F everybody else. But when it comes to relationships, it's honestly has been for so long was so low, just my own personal self-confidence. I felt like it would be like I instantly was friend zone myself, because I would feel like I didn't have a chance with like any girls.
Really?
Like in terms of leagues, I was like not even in the leagues, bro. I'm like in the little leagues, you know what I'm saying? But so fine, like out of nowhere, I was talking to this girl and she was like, dude, there's all these guys are already trying to get into my pants. And I'm like, LMAO, imagine trying to have people getting in your pants. And she was like, and I was just like laughing about it. I was like, I would trade with you in a heartbeat to have people like interested in me that I didn't want to reciprocate, because that's never what I'm on the end of it. Like I'm always on the other end. And she was like, dude, I had the biggest crush on you like the entirety of last year. And I was like,
oh, no way.
Absolutely mind blown. Like I can't even describe my reaction. I just stared at that and I was like, what? And I threw my phone across the room and fell over backwards. I was just lying there like, what? Like I literally could not believe it or comprehend it. It was so mind blowing to me. Just that like someone else that I considered very attractive, that had dated a lot of people that were also pretty attractive. And also that was sophomore year. That was junior year. That was when my hair was literally still like I literally would part it with my pointer fingers and put it up on the sides of my hair. Don't put that in a podcast. But yes, it was.
I'm a good guesser.
Bro, how the hell did you guess that? But I would like literally everything about me was completely anti-society, what people would consider unattractive. And through all of that, someone legitimately found me attractive and was like nervous to talk about it. That blew my mind. And it completely changed my perspective, and it way increased my confidence. And I was like, you know what? By being a nice person and by being myself without changing a single thing about who I am as a person, I can have good relationships. I just have to find the right person.
Absolutely.
And that was a super uplifting moment. Completely changed my entire perspective.
That's fantastic.
You got into it too. Dude,
all right. Well, I guess we can end with that. Social media.
The only one I care about is YouTube. And it's the only account I care about is Almondboi. That's one word. Almond BOI boy. I am making crazy good stuff.
All right, Terrell.
Snapchat T_Flames_X. TikTok Daily Life of Terrell. And Instagram, Ego Friendly TV.
Awesome. And you guys can find us at the Mountains Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Matt.
My pleasure.
It has been a lot more fun than I expected. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Best 5 hours
of
my life.
Good to hear it. All right. Catch you guys next time.
You should have an outro.